Okay, hello, Rosa Shibe here with the. Okay, let's try this again. This is Rosa Shibe with another Shibe thought bubble, and wanted to talk about was some of the drama that happened in the cryptocurrency space over the weekend, starting Friday. First, basically, it's MEW, known as My Ether Wallet, and MyCrypto Wallet, and that drama, and just kind of going over it, what happened there in the Ethereum space. But before we get into all that, let's talk about some other stories that were happening in the space. If you're new to the channel and you're just curious what this channel is all about, I kind of just talk about different news stories in the crypto space, talk about some of the economics, the people, the philosophy, the technology. If you're looking for trading advice or what best crypto coins to buy, or really detail, I don't know, proof of stake coins or how to mine or anything like that, that this is not your channel. There's other channels out there that do that. More of in how to or whys or what's going on and how to best, navigate this space and what the people are about, what the tech's about, that kind of stuff. That's what interests me. So here is a very interesting story. So vendors on Amazon are now selling 6 packs of GPUs for cryptocurrency mining. Overpriced graphic cards in bulk. Uh, the demand of GPU created by cryptocurrency mining has resulted in exorbitantly high price graphic cards that now routinely sell way above MSRP if you're willing to cough up the cash. So you can just find about any card out there. You can even buy in bulk as third-party vendors on Amazon look to hawk multiple graphic cards at once. Just don't expect a price break. So this is kind of what's going on in Craigslist for a while, and even eBay. And I'm surprised this wasn't happening on Amazon beforehand. Maybe it was, and now it's just a news story because the price is just way out there. But if you check any eBay or Craigslist or kind of listing, you're going to see all sorts of different types of graphic cards up for sale. Take, for example, this listing for a 6 pack of XFR Radeon XR 570 graphic cards. It sells for $3,695 plus a $10.49 for shipping. That works out to 1617 and change per card. The RX was a 180 card at launch. Granted that these are factory overclock cards with custom cooling solutions, but less than 3 months ago they were selling for $225 each. If you prefer NVIDIA, the vendor on Amazon is selling a 6 pack of PIN GeForce GTX 1086 gigabyte cards for $3,780, and that's one at least comes with a free shipping for Prime members. That works out to $630 per card versus a low $12.80 in April last year. For bargain hunters, the 6 pack of MS GeForce GTX 1060 ARITX cards is a better value. The seller only wants $3,465. Also with free shipping for Prime members, which comes out to $577.50 per card. What a deal. I'm wondering when you're gonna start seeing like it happen with iPhones, where there's gonna be some graphic cards hijacked, shipments hijacked, if that's not already happening. But yeah, let's check this listing to see if it's still there. And it has 4 customer reviews. I wonder if they're actually verified sellers. Hold on. People are just so mad about all this, the gamers, which I can understand. They want to build their own computers, but can't do this. This is equivalent of being raped by a guy dressed in a dollar bill outfit, 2-star thumbs. This guy's a miner, but he wants to sell. This guy's a miner and wants to sell all his old stuff, like the other items he's selling. Shame. These have probably been used and are near death. So that's also another problem with these graphic cards, is they get overclocked. And when people try to pick them up, they're almost virtually useless. The warranty is broken. It is a problem for the graphic industry, which could easily be settled if they were to, I don't know, make more graphic cards. But so that is a thing. People are still mining. People make it seem like nobody's mining, but people are in fact mining, and mining for profit. So there's that. We'll see how this all shakes out when Samsung's ASIC chip comes out, and I imagine that ASIC chip is going to be an ASIC chip for a lot of the top coins. Ethereum, Litecoin. I guess ASICs is going to Bitcoin definitely, but and I guess you can say for all the other Bitcoin offshoots. But yeah, it seems to me like there is a need in the space for a dedicated graphic card maker that does specifically for mining. And it's just not really happening. And NVIDIA, AMD, all these graphic card makers just kind of need to get with it. They were with it for a little bit, but then it seemed to have slacked down. So we'll see. So this artist made a Satoshi white paper. Let's see if I can zoom in. It looks about as big as I can get it. And basically, he's taken the words and it's an art form called typography, where you take the words of like anyone's poems, lyrics, papers, books, opening lines, chapters, and then you make an image out of it. And he has done that. And you can see down here the little graphics that appear in the paper, mathematical principles there. And it's made into Bitcoin right here. In fact, that reminds me, I want to pull up another Bitcoin related. Oh, where did the story go? So you can actually buy this. It's called the Satoshi White Paper Typographical Art Canvas, number 21 of 50. So the price featured the entire white paper formed into the Bitcoin logo. The logo is only slightly visible when you stand up close to the artwork. When stepping much farther back, it becomes noticeable. The piece was created by Linux Art Collection, includes 50 prints and 50 canvases. All prints and canvases sold out in the first 24 hours. This is canvas number 21 of 50. The canvas measures 24 by 36 by 0.5. It's wrapped and mounted on a wooden frame. So this person is selling their version of this. You have 6K, 16 hours, 27 minutes, and 7 seconds. The current bid is $1,000 or 0.118 in BTC. Let's see Linux Art Collection. I've actually heard of this artist before. They have done some interesting other prints before. The Kakakis Astronaut Canvas Art, limited to 21. There's a link in the show notes. Here. Mike Cadwell, creator of the physical Caucus coin, gave his thumbs up and shares his enthusiasm for this piece. The Kakakis astronaut, as the coin climbs higher and higher in value, it remains just out of the reach of the astronaut who is desperately trying to capture it. Each canvas includes a hand-signed and numbered certificate of authenticity, limited to 21 worldwide. Canvas measures 24 by 36 by 1.5 and is gallery wrapped and mounted on a wooden frame. So if you're unfamiliar with the Kakis coin, let's actually kind of Google it to remind myself of all the details. For very early in the space, I would say like around 2011 or 2012, Mike Cadwell would make these physical coins, and you would send him. Wow, I can't imagine this was going on at the time. You would send him your private key and a public key, and you would make these physical Bitcoins out of metal, and it would house your private key that you could redeem. Some of them were at the time were like $40. You know, the Bitcoin was like $40 or something like that. Now imagine what that coin is now. But he got shut down by the government. So the Kakis physical Bitcoins are called Kakis coins, are physical metal coins created by Bitcoin user Kakis and sold into November 26, 2013. That contain an embedded piece of paper with a digital Bitcoin value covered by a tamper-resistant hologram. Kakis coins are available in 1, 10, 25, 100, and 1,000 BTC increments. They can be purchased at Kakis website, only Bitcoin accepted, memorydealers.com, PayPal, and credit cards accepted. The coins are designed such that they can be circulated in face-to-face transactions. The first person to redeem his private key gets the value of the coin, and afterwards, the coin no longer has any Bitcoin value. It is difficult or impossible to read the private key on the coin without damaging or destroying the hologram, which exposes a honeycomb-like tamper evidence pattern when peeled. The piece of paper inside each coin has a private key, which forms the backing for the Bitcoin value represented by the coin. Redeem the private key back into the digital coins is currently available with a batch reference client and many alternative clients. Kakis coins are similar to bit bills in that they are an object that contains a redemption code that serves as a bearer item for digital coins. There are 2 independent websites that track status of all the Kakis coins in circulation based on the information on the blockchain. So let's look at that. Suspension of sale. Mike Cadwell suspended sales of items that contain digital Bitcoins. The Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, FinCEN, a branch of the Treasury Department, informed him before that mining physical Bitcoins qualified him as a money transferring business, which means he needed to register at the federal level and get state licenses too. For a piece of metal and a piece of paper slapped together. Approximately the number produced was 3,500 as of November 11th. A spelling error can be found in small lettering on the hologram of Kakis instead of Kakis. Kakis has stated that no more than 11,000 may be produced. All 11,000 Bitcoin addresses pre-generated for series have been published as a signed text file. So second series, 1 BTC, 10 BTC is silver round, 25 BTC coins, 100 BTC gold-plated bar, 1,000 BTC is a gold-plated bar, and another 1 sees BTC 20-ounce gold coin. So, yeah. So that was a thing for a while, and unfortunately it got shut down. But now we have one dime, or open dime, if you will, that will allow for this type of bearer transmission in a much more secure fashion. But this was, I guess you could say, the first attempt and a little, kind of nerdy thing going on. I'd be curious of what the analysis is. So hit that. So these are the ones that are still active. It looks like the ones that are still open. So there's quite a few that have been open. 3 active, 2 open. So there's one out there that has 1,000 BTC bars. 2 active, 14 open. 1 active, 1 open. 52 active, 91 open. So in total, there's 22 coins and bars. There are 2,011, 5,823 are open. A total of 27,834. That's about a total of 90,000 plus a Bitcoin. I don't think that's appropriate US dollar. It's kind of old. When was this updated? Oh, yeah, I guess that is. US dollars. The gold amount is 6,625. So yeah. So out there, somebody could have an 1,000 BTC coin. Wow. Let's see. Public address. I wonder if they have the public address. Created, address, active, active, active. Extra BTC added. Owner is Gregory Samdisky. Oh, so some people's names are out there. Oh, that's unfortunate. What about this one? Is this name too active? This person's name out there? Josh. Yeah, Josh. Worth $8 million. 1,006 BTC worth $8 million. We're going to talk a little bit about this when we talk about 2-Bit Idiots. Some of the things he's written in January that were very important. So before we get into the MEW versus crypto, let's talk about John Barry Barlow. So this is from The Guardian. Friday? When did he pass? He died February 6th, so that was, let's look at the calendar. I guess I can't look at the calendar. Oh, wait, okay, so that was a Tuesday. He passed away. So pretty much a lot of over the weekend, this kind of shook out. A lot of people sharing their stories about John Barry Barlow, his importance both as a lyricist for the Grateful Dead, but primarily, I think, for me personally, even though I knew he was associated with the Grateful Dead, I primarily knew him for being the activist and internet pioneer. So this is from The Guardian. So John Barry Barlow. He died at the age of 70 after a long period of illness. Started as a cattle rancher who wrote lyrics for the Grateful Dead and then became a digital rights activist and a champion of free speech on the internet. His ideas captured the mood of a generation and believed that people could reinvent themselves in a new virtual world with no government controls and no national boundaries. And by the way, where they could share digital music and movies without paying for them. As Barlow pointed out, digital goods, unlike physical goods, could be infinitely replicated at zero cost. Having worked with the Grateful Dead, Barlow was one of the first to understand that an information economy value is driven not by scarcity, but by familiarity. The insight is the basis of viral marketing, and today's free online services are based on it. So he was very much a visionary. He helped found the Electronic Frontier Foundation. What else did he help found? There was a news organization he helped found. Where is it? So, right here it talks about the Electronic Frontier Foundation, but he also did something with news as well. Barlow's recognized the changing business model. Okay, so some of the things he did, like the Grateful Dead is known for, if you were ever into music, a lot of people had like what's called bootlegs. They were cassette tapes. God, I'm dating myself here. That people would pass around of live shows. People would actually sneak in with recordings and record live shows. Some even had like really sophisticated equipment. A lot of times they were like the sound engineer of that particular concert for that particular venue. Some would sneak in. All sorts of different wild, bootlegs are out there. A number of different artists didn't like it. They felt that, the concert was a concert. You had to be there to experience it. Some shunned bootlegs, fought bootlegs. The Grateful Dead, they said bootleg, 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 and help record their live shows themselves, allow for people to share bootlegs. They weren't very much against it. And this is why I think they had such a great following. I actually had a roommate long ago that followed the Grateful Dead prior to Jerry Garcia's passing. And, you know, all the craziness and the atmosphere surrounded the Grateful Dead. You know, they had a whole ecosystem surrounding them. And, you know, they were one of the few bands that kind of started some of that and making a profit of that. And not essentially a profit, but bringing that about into existence. Now that's the thing. People, you know, take their phones out and post, you know, YouTube videos, Snapchats, Instagram. Oftentimes artists support it, agree for it. Sometimes that's not the case. It's still a mixed bag, if you will. But they help really popularize the whole concept of bootleg and concert tapes. So let's see. Let's talk about some of this other stuff. So Barlow recognized the changing business model and analyzed it in the essay The Economy Ideas, published in Wired in 1994. He wrote, the best way to raise demand for your product is to give it away, and that was how Silicon Valley companies took over the web. Paranoia helped begin when Barlow started using the WELL, or Whole Earth Electronic Link, an online bulletin board based in San Francisco. It was the main meeting place for Grateful Dead fans, but also was where Barlow first came in contact with the digital activists Mitch Kapper, designer of the Locust 123 spreadsheet, and John Gilmore from Sun Microsoft Systems. The three men founded the Electronic Freedom Foundation in 1890. Barlow had no technology training. He graduated with a BA in comparative religion from Wesleyan University, a liberal arts college in Connecticut, and been a rancher until he sold up in 1988. Now he was surrounded by hackers and Uber geeks, but he was an early adopter, a fast learner, and larger-than-life communicator. He may not have had a deep understanding of the bits and bytes, but he could extract key ideas and convey them to a wide audience. As a self-described free agent and peripheral visionary, he communicated by writing for many outlets, including Wired, and by speaking at conferences worldwide. He's known for, I think, three key essays, if you will: The Economy of Ideas, a Declaration of Independence for Cyberspace, as well as how to be a grown-up. And we'll talk about a Declaration of Independence of Cyberspace later on this week, and the Economy Ideas. I'm going to have to look over the grown-up one. I personally have not read it or heard about it beforehand, and see if it has some kind of value for the space. But yeah, he passed away, a great champion for the internet, a great activist. A lot of what we are doing in this space, a lot of what is going on with the internet in general, would not have been possible without men like him. Very early on, being activists, speaking out, pushing companies, pushing legislators, and seeking to get the type of freedoms that are necessary for this great communication device. All right, so let's talk about what happened with the whole Ethereum wallet and MyCrypto. So let's kind of get set up here. So both camps have released a statement about, the events. We're going to read those. Talk a little bit about the outrage, why people were concerned, why people should be kind of concerned, but not really. I'm going to add it on. I completely forgot, but there is a podcast interview with one of the people involved in all this, Taylor. I already did that, so Copy. All right. So let's go there. So let's start with my MyEtherWallet because it is the first. Because I can't type tonight. All right, so this is my MyEtherWallet. My MyEtherWallet is pretty much one of the consistent wallets that majority of the people in this space use. They just I think it was 3 months ago, put this pop up to help people understand how to use MyEtherWallet. And let's talk about it. So, welcome to MyEtherWallet.com. We know this clicking through stuff is annoying and we're sorry. Please take some time to understand for this your own safety, your funds will be stolen if you do not heed these warnings. We cannot recover your funds or freeze your account if you visit a phishing site or lose your private key. What is MEW? MyEtherWallet is a free, open source client-side interface. We allow you to interact directly with the blockchain or while remaining in full control of your keys and your funds. You and only you are responsible for your security. So first off, MyEtherWallet, unlike some other wallets out there like Coinbase or anything like that, don't hold or control your private keys. You do. They're just an interface. MyEtherWallet is not a bank. When you open an account with a bank or an exchange, they create an account for you in the system. The bank keeps track of your personal information, account passwords, balance transactions, and ultimately your money. The bank charges fees to manage your account and provides services like refund transactions when your card gets stolen. The bank allows you to write a check or charge your debit card to save money, go online to check your balance, reset your passwords, and get a new debit card if you lose it. You have an account with a bank or an exchange, and they decide how much money you can send, where you can send it, and how long to hold on a suspicious deposit, all for a fee. MyEtherWallet is an interface. When you create an account on MyEtherWallet, you're generating a cryptographic set of numbers, your private key, and your public key address. The handling of your keys happens entirely on your computer inside your browser. We never transmit, receive, or store your private key, password, or other account information. We do not charge a transaction fee. We're simply using our interface to interact directly with the blockchain. If you send your public key address to someone, they can send you ETH or tokens. If you send your private key to someone, they now have control of your account. So that is a distinguishable difference that some people were not getting when the whole ICO madness was happening. The blockchain is a huge global decentralized spreadsheet. It keeps track of who sent how many coins to whom and what balances of every account is. It is stored and maintained by thousands of people, miners across the globe, who have special computers. The block and the blockchains are made up of all the individual transactions sent from MyEtherWallet, MetaMask, Exodus, Mist, Gift, Parity, and everywhere else. When you see your balance on MyEtherWallet.com or view your transactions on Etherscan.io, you're seeing data on the blockchain, not on your personal system. Again, we are not a bank. But why? Why are you making me read all this? Because we need you to understand that we cannot access your account or send your funds for you. X. Recover or change your private key. Recover or reset your passwords. Reverse, cancel, or refund transactions. Freeze accounts. So yeah, the whole concept of being your own bank is you have the responsibility of everything, including the liability. You and only you are responsible for your security. Be diligent to keep your private key and password safe. Your private key is sometimes called your mnemonic phrase, key stored file, UTCS file, JAWS file, wallet file. If you lose your private key or password, no one can recover it. If you enter your private key on a phishing website, you will have all your funds taken. If MyEtherWallet can't do those things, what's the point? Because this is the point of the decentralization and the blockchain. You don't have to rely on your bank, government, or anyone else when you want to move your funds. You don't have to rely on your security of exchange or bank to keep your funds. If you don't find these things valuable, ask yourself why you think the blockchain and cryptocurrencies are valuable. If you don't like the sound of this information, consider using Coinbase or Blockchain Info. They have more familiar accounts with usernames and passwords. If you're scared but want to use MEW, get a hardware wallet. Please keep your keys secure. How to protect yourself and your friends. How to protect yourself from phishers. So phishers send you a message with a link to a website that looks like MyEtherWallet, Ether, Delta, PayPal, or your bank. It's not the real website. They steal your information and steal your money. Install EEL or MetaMask or Kryptonite by MetaCark or MyEtherWallet Chrome extension to block malicious websites. Always check the URL. Always make sure the URL bar has MyEtherWallet LLC in green, and do not trust messages on links sent to you by randomly via email, Slack, Reddit, Twitter, etc. Always navigate directly to the site before you enter information. Do not enter information after clicking a link from a message or an email. Install an ad blocker and do not click on ads on your search engine, IG, Google. How to protect yourself from scams. People will try to get you to give them their money in return for nothing. If it's too good to be true, it probably is. Research before sending money to someone or someone's project. Look for information on the variety of websites and forums and be wary. Ask questions when you don't understand something or it doesn't seem right. Please don't let fear, FUD, or FOMO win over your common sense. If something is very urgent, ask yourself why. You may be able to create FOMO over it or prevent you from doing research. If you lose your private key or password, it's gone forever. Don't lose it. Make a backup of your private key and password. Do not store it on your computer. Print it on a piece of paper or save it on a USB stick. Store the paper or USB drive in different physical locations. A backup is not useful if it's destroyed by a fire, flood, along with your laptop. Do not store your private key in a Dropbox, Google Drive, or other cloud storage. If that account is compromised, your funds will be stolen. If you have more than 1 week's worth of pay worth of cryptocurrency, get a hard wallet. No excuses, worth it, I promise. So, all right, I'm done lecturing. Sorry for like this. Onwards. Get a hardware wallet. How to set up a MEW plus MetaMask. How to run MEW official online locally. How to send via Ledger hard wallet. How to send via Tezos hard wallet. How to send via MetaMask. Learn more on contact. Oh my God, please let us send FFS. So, this is MyEtherWallet. As you can see, it has the LLC on top. This is the website. Don't get fished, please. Thank you. Bookmark myether.com and sell EEL or MetaMask or Kryptonite. And this is pretty much one of the most dominant wallet site providers out there. Again, it has all these things letting people know. This actually is probably one of the first companies that I've seen that went full board to do this. And there was a bit of a, you can say, change or a chance, a fork, as it's being called, a fork of the company where almost like 90% of the staff has left MyEtherWallet and formed a new company called MyCrypto. And this caused a lot of confusion for people. They were very wary, which is understandable, about what was going on. Like, could they, is MyEtherWallet still going to be here? Why was the fork company happening? And could they trust either MyEtherWallet or even this new company? So that is MyEtherWallet. That is the original company. And this is a new company that was formed, which is MyCrypto Wallet. It doesn't seem like there's the one. Let's see. Nope. MyCrypto. Here it is, MyCrypto. So they don't even have the wallet. There's actually something out there that has MyCrypto Wallet. So right up here, they're MyCrypto Incorporated, USS. So again, they also have these slides right here explaining what MyCrypto is. Finish reading these slides, the interface, very much some of the similar language that MyEtherWallet had. Again, trying to educate and help the space understand what it is they're doing. Some of the same images here. And how to use this. Very similar setup: send, swap, send offline, contact, ENS, domain sales, tax status view, How the network English, what the fuck is MyCrypto? The latest doesn't hold your private key. So very similar in language, similar images, similar looking like it. So you can understand why people were like, what the hell is going on? What is MyCrypto and how is it they control the MyEther wallet website that now is the MyCrypto website. So let's go to the Twitter handle. So this was what caused the confusion. MyCrypto was MyEtherWallet. When the company split, they changed the Twitter handle to MyCrypto, and this what really irked people was a verification symbol, but they didn't understand how that kind of worked. The verification symbol for Twitter is like this. You get verified through Twitter. If you change your Twitter handle, you lose your verification and you have to go through that process again. So a lot of people were initially reporting that MyCrypto was a fake site, phishing site, or whatever, but they went through the proper steps to declare themselves as this handle. Now, a lot of people were upset because that meant that they had all the followers of MyEtherWallet coming with them. But I think what people fail to understand is, and I'm frozen again. Why is it unfrozen? Is that, how does it best describe it? They're companies, okay? This happens in business. Businesses break up. Sometimes they break up in a very ugly public fashion like this did. Sometimes people understand why it is that they're breaking up. And I'm just realizing I have not been sharing anything. For a while now. That totally sucks. Let me get back. Ugh. Silly Alicia. Seriously, I'm gonna still be frozen. Minimize that. Google Hangouts. So on Black. Let's go to over there. Come on. Page is unresponsive. That is sucks. Let's. Boy, technical difficulties. Seems like everybody wants to be on Google Hangouts today. Has nothing to do with my computer. Okay, and I'm back. Let's get this screen sharing option. I guess I didn't have that on. Silly, silly person. Present to everyone. Okay, so this was what kind of what happened. So I'm going to read this article, kind of sums it up, and then I'm going to read the statements from both parties. And if you're still unfamiliar, it says it in the name. My Ethereum wallet deals with the Ethereum blockchain. So this is one of the Ethereum websites and one of the sites that pretty much everyone goes to do their token sales, to interact and engage with Ethereum blockchain. So, excuse me. So, February 10th, there has been an ongoing court case between Kazo Kanuva and Taylor Tavone since December 2017. A full breakdown of the case provides some context and background for the sudden split the community are seeing now. So we'll go to that in a moment. So the MyEther, so some of this people weren't even really aware of was going on, and a lot of it has to do with business. Certain things you can't talk about for legal reasons. So I want to make sure I get all the names. So MyEtherWallet was founded by Taylor Monahan was one of the founders, and where's his full name? Why is his full name not in the article? Koslow, that's not his full name, but Koslow, and his handle is Knuth on Twitter. He has a statement, so let me find where I can find his actual freaking full name. Okay. Kaso Knuth, Hitchmarner, and Taylor Monahan. Okay, so there we go. So, February 10th, the Twitter handle changed with zero notice and according to the MyEther co-founder, without permission. So he states, MyEther.com is secure and functionally normal, which is true. They don't control people's wallets. They don't control your wallets or your private keys. They're just an interface. But people freaked out because they never really went through the little data points there, and they never fully understood. But he released this statement. Your wallets have not been compromised and may continue to use MEW as intended. At present, however, we're investigating what we believe to be an improper, perhaps unlawful social media account switch. Ex-MEW co-founder Taylor Monahan is claiming a new beginning under the new handle and company named MyCrypto. The sudden and previously unannounced switch has caused immense confusion throughout the crypto space, leaving users outraged at the lack of transparency. The launch article for the newly formed MyCrypto fails to acknowledge the social media account hijacking done without the blessing notice or even the begrudging permission of the MEW co-founder. So that in itself is in dispute. I'm not going to read this statement that's embedded in the article. I'm going to read some of the other statements in a moment. The response to Pike's claims of being frank fails to acknowledge the fact that the handle change was done without permission of all claimants to the brand name and with zero notice to the community. So people were outraged by that. Taylor did go on to the Bitcoin podcast, which I'll have a link in the show notes. Explaining why she did that, and basically she said because of the various phishing accounts and attacks out there, that if they did give sufficient notice, then there would be so many phishing accounts out there with the MyCrypto label, and she wanted to avoid that. And she said that basically even within an hour of them switching and launching their site, there was already a phishing site, which is a big problem, not only in the cryptocurrency space, but really in Ethereum. Here's an example of the community outrage for both a professional standpoint for the future of MEW and on a personal level due to the poor conduct and lack of transparency. So a lot of people were outraged by this. Majority of the comments did the same thing, feeling outrage, betrayal, and confusion. Upon seeking response from MyCrypto and Taylor on the lack of transparency, the only answer as a press time, they reached a statement. Bear in mind that the private keys and other confidential information are not stored on MEW, but rather in a simple access interface for the users to interact with their funds. Having said that, crypto insiders take no accountability for the stability of the Coinbase, the code base, or the newly formed sites, and recommend users take no action until the dust settles. The fall of that, we certainly heard the brand name of both MyEtherWallet and MyCrypto until the air is cleared by the instigating parties. This is a lesson to all of us now not to rebrand. Stay tuned to the space for updates and developments. Rebranding happens in business all the time. Businesses break up. They sometimes get ugly. This is what we saw, is basically we saw, as some are calling, the fork of the company. This is business. This happens all the time. It's just, I guess this happened to many people's favorite fave, if you will. Okay, so let's go with some of the official statements. We'll go with the official MyEtherWallet statement. So Knuve on the R Ethereum Reddit forum says the official statement regarding yesterday's events and the status of MyEtherWallet. Hello, everyone. By now, you may have already read the article at Medium. For those who do not know me, I founded MyEtherWallet, and I believe that I owe our Ethereum community and the crypto community at large an explanation of yesterday's events. Before I do, a brief history about me. I've been intrigued by Ethereum ever since the release of the yellow paper back in 2014. Upon reading it, I realized that Vitalik was a true visionary and became infatuated with the technology behind Ethereum. Specifically, I understood all the transformative possibilities that this type of technology presented now and in the future. When the Ethereum Foundation released the mainnet, however, I recognized that many users were struggling. With no graphical user interface, many early adopters have been officially accessing and transferring their Ether. I saw an opportunity to contribute to this new emerging community and seized it. I began working on a user interface to be used in conjunction with and in support of Ethereum wallet functionality that any new crypto adopter can feel comfortable using. I released my initial version and published it on Reddit on August 11, 2015, MEW's birthday. I designed it to be open source so that others like me could make modifications to my existing codebase and continue to improve user friendliness and functionality over time. However, as core developer and programmer, business developer / designers were immediately not my strength, I needed someone to take the lead in the front if I wanted MEW to grow in the user base. I brought my friend Taylor M on board knowing that she was up to the task. Let's just say that she did not disappoint and MEW took off much faster than either of us could anticipate it. I will always be appreciative of our efforts in helping MEW achieve the success it did. Alas, for reasons I cannot develop in here, our partnership had to end. During the transition yesterday, however, MEW's Twitter account was switched from MyEtherWallet to MyCrypto, and tens of thousands of MEW followers were left scratching their heads. Indeed, the change was unexpected, and I'm still in the process of determining the justification behind the switch and how the issue will be resolved. I don't know what the fallout from this will be, but I will not be on the offensive or defensive discussing the circumstances surrounding our decision to separate beyond my statement here. Instead, my focus will be, as it always been, on the best to improve MEW for existing and prospective users. Security is paramount these days, and me and my new team will remain vigilant in ensuring that the MEW website, your accounts, and more importantly, your Ether and tokens are safe. Rest assured that MEW is the same product that you were trusted yesterday, and the MEW team will work tirelessly to make sure it is the product you still use tomorrow, will still trust tomorrow. The Ethereum community inspired me to create MyEtherWallet, and it still inspires me today. I'm not going anywhere, and furthermore, for those of you wondering where I've been or what I've been working on the past several months, I've been busy doing what I do best, so get ready for some new exciting products / services in the pipeline. Stay tuned. In any event, I must admit that the competition is a good thing because it serves as a driving force behind innovation. Look at the world around us. Complacency simply means one will get left behind. That being said, I sincerely wish Tim M. and MyCrypto the very best. Your president in the crypto space will undoubtedly motivate you to continue raising the bar. Thank you all for your support over the last few years, and hopefully in the years to come, MEW's team remains committed to you and is available to answer any and all your questions and concerns you may have. Truly yours, Coastal H, or Canoe. So that was his response to the Medium post and on launching the MyCrypto, which I can say is, was extremely professional. Doesn't get into why they split up. Just basically breaks down what happened with the Twitter handle, and that everyone's funds are secure and safe. They're just an interface. They don't control your private keys or anything like that. And the company's still going to be here and moving forward. So this is MyCrypto launch fact QA. No, I don't want that. I got rid of that. I want the initial statement. So let's get the initial statement. So mind you, like the Reddit boards, there's issues about censorship, things like that. Taylor M is also a moderator on Ethereum, so she's been accused of, censorship. That is not the case, in my personal opinion. I think just people just kind of fundamentally misunderstand some of the business aspects that are going on here. And it was ugly, but at the same time, it's still kind of transparent. Everyone's kind of seeing what exactly is going on, except for the reason why there is a split. And obviously, that is just a legal matter. So follow. A New Beginning, MyCrypto.com by Taylor Monahan. So this is a story of MyEtherWallet, and this has led us down the path to MyCrypto. It's long because I hope it gives you insight to who we were, who we are, and who we aim to be in 2018 beyond. Or more likely, I'm not a concise person, and this is catharsis. If you don't care about the why or how, skip to 2018, the new beginning. There are some big changes happening in 2018 to ensure our longevity in the block space. We will do our best to ensure everything happens smoothly and transparently. Thank you for your time. So 2015, the beginning. MyEtherWallet started with just 3 people, Kanav and Tenuva, me. It was a simple interface that provides a simple solution to a problem. When Ethereum first launched, the only way to send your Ether was via a command line. Our first Reddit post reflects our short-term expectations of the project, the Ether wallet generator for now. Unlike the work we did for our day jobs, MEW didn't have deadlines or tedious rounds of feedback from stakeholders. We could work on it when we wanted to or not at all. It was simply our baby. This is from, I guess you can say, the GitHub contribution list. 71 from Canoe, 51 from Tenevo. Update copyright to 2016. Improve help page. The Ethereum community was small, tight-knit, but optimistic about the future. Whenever we made a post about a new feature, I had the chance to interact directly with a handful of folks using our product, and interact with these people have been one of the most fulfilling experiences in my life. I quickly fell in love with talking to people, understanding the different ways these products they used our product, eliminating misconceptions, and improving the product based on what they shared. I never saw MEW as being an infrastructure or tooling, and certainly did not expect to be in such an integral part of the Ethereum ecosystem. And I think that's what was the biggest problem here is there's not enough Ethereum wallets. There's just not enough Ethereum wallets. It really isn't. There needs to be more competition. It won't be until a year later that I realized building a product for people is infinitely more difficult and time-consuming than building a product for a company. 2016, the middle. Throughout 2015, 2016, we spent on this site was mostly short, sweet, and spontaneous. We're both still working our day jobs, and MEW was our baby side project. Mind you, they were not taking any cut for any of the different types of transactions occurring within their interface, which they could have, but they didn't. And so they're not making any money from this. And I don't see any ads on top or around the MyEtherWallet. 2016 was the year of the DAO and the Squunch hard fork. The community was small and tight-knit. It was an incredibly hopeful time until it wasn't. While the aftermath of the DAO was a painful experience, MEW was the front and center to help pick up the pieces. We built the features that people still use somehow to this day in the DAO withdrawal interface. My key takeaways, according to my journal in December 2016, weren't surrounding the Dow, the price of Ether, or the network attacks. They were my love for the community, the potential of blockchain, and the hope for the future. More specifically, I love exploring accessibility and the user experience in a way I never had before. The decision I made could help people finally interact with the blockchain safely. I love improving the accessibility, not because the style guides told me to, but because I had a blind user contact me. I love that I could make the person's experience better with the afternoon's worth of work. I hated that a wrong choice, even a flip one, could lose someone's money. First quarter of 1 and 2, the climax. The year started off with a great, steady, manageable flow of new users. It was still just the two of us. The server cost a whopping $40 a month. We got around 20 support type messages on a busy day. When the price skyrocketed, ICOs and news came zooming in on the promise of getting rich. We suddenly had a real user base and real servers that we had to learn to scale. The efficient sites appeared and the working expertise to be secure in the space climbed steadily. Our daily message doubled and we doubled again and again and again, and our head count increased 50% when my husband Kevin started helping out. It didn't stop, especially not with Ethereum. With Ethereum name service on the horizon. With new features came new problems, and suddenly we were receiving time-sensitive requests that we couldn't answer in a time-sensitive manner. We weren't ready. We were used to what's a private key, but we now found ourselves dealing with, I can't reveal this bid, and if I don't reveal it within 24 hours, I will lose 100 ETH. My friends and family, especially husband, saw the toll this responsibility was having on my mental health and urged me to stop letting it destroy me. My husband answered as many support tickets as he could each day, cooked dinner every evening, and carried me to bed at 4 a.m., then 5 a.m., and then 7 a.m. When I fell asleep typing in the computer, I constantly chose trying to help one more person over in a few more moments of sleep, and there were always one more person. So here's the status of the different types of issues of the ICOs. So the initial coin offering increased in May and June. Each ICO dwarfed the last. The status token event had us broadcasting 100,000 transactions per hour. Wow. Let's look at that. Ant storage, miss, BAT token, that's the basic attention token, Bancor, which might be a complete scam, and status. Jesus. A year previously, we had 100,000 unique visitors per month. 20 messages a day became 1,000. The value of Ethereum increased exponentially, and so did the stakes. Every potential bug or help query became the most urgent thing ever. Every monumental task finished meant another monumental task started. And you can't hire staff by the dozen in this space. Finding trustworthy people with specialized knowledge who aren't building their own product or launching their own ICO was and is a challenge. Dealing with a passionate, involved, but necessarily experienced user base requires a kind heart, a thick skin, and attention to detail, and stringent adherence to security and best practices. I learned a lot upon reflection, but in this moment it was simply chaos. It was unhealthy. All emotions are intensified by a lack of sleep, and I too often attribute to the malice what could have been attributed to any number of other things. My journal entry stopped in May and didn't start again until November. I had to prioritize my mental health and marriage again. QE3, Q4, 2017, building and rebuilding. Once the madness had subsided a bit, I took steps to ensure MEW as a product and a company was secure and reliable in the long term. I never wanted to be ill-prepared for rapid growth again. I read startup books, biographies of great founders, and researched the fatal mistakes of other wallets with the hope I could learn from other mistakes instead of making my own. I had begun hiring people to help with support and develop it, and our new team was rewriting the entire code base together as a team. By fall, their roles were much larger, and they were fully committed to the company product. I wanted to assure the company product were committed to them as well. Before everything had been about the next day, now I need to think about tomorrow and the years to come. Failure now could hurt the community and the livelihoods of the friends who had quit their jobs, dropped out of school, or otherwise completely dedicated themselves to our project. The venture needed to transform from a side project to a real company and fast. Building a product and team is really fucking hard and experience more time and energy than you would think you have. I was never prepared for the next onslaught of traffic, the different types of people starting to use our product, the fissures, the needs of the community, and the needs of our team. Exponential growth requires exponential effort, and it's easier to give up, but I won't be the person I am today without this experience. Someone asked me, if you're so stressed, then why don't you just stop doing it? At the time, the thought had never crossed my mind. Now I had time to think about it, and here's why I know. Quitting is not an option. No amount of temporary setbacks or headaches can make this experience not worth it. I will regret giving up for the rest of my life. It was fun to imagine a world I stopped building new and moved to a desert island without internet. It's not fun to stop building new and imagine a world where I kept at it. We were a team of 19 badass rock stars who made my life easier and the product better each and every single day. They do everything I used to do, but he's better than I ever did. If I survive at ICO hell during the initial NES launch with only my husband by my side, I could survive just about anything Ethereum throws at us with the team we built and my husband by my side. The space was revolutionizing the world. I've accomplished things I never thought possible. I love that. It's hard, but without it, I would have no idea what I'm truly capable of. 2018, the new beginning. 2017 saw the end of the side project. 2018 will ensure we have a solid foundation for the project, the company, and the team. It is this solid foundation that ensures our long-term stability and success in 2018 and beyond. Our goals. Make choices that are best for Ethereum, the community, and large blockchain space. Create the best product we can empower people to interact with the blockchain. Find the balance between safety and control, ease of use, privacy, decentralization, and trustlessness. Ensure our users understand the risk of blockchain and make an informed choice between our product and alternative, e.g. hosted wallet exchange. Take the people who use our product and provide feedback to heart and carry the feedback with us. They are why we are here, and listening to them regardless of the technical abilities or communication skills. Stay true to our free open source privacy mind, transparent, focused, and client-side roots. What we need to achieve our goals. A company and culture that allows us to work together efficiently and rewards our efforts in both financial and non-financial ways. A company structure that protects us legally, reduces our risk, and ensures we are around tomorrow. A financial situation allows us to focus on above goals in the long term, not whether or not we can pay bills the next month. A network of individuals, teams, peers, and mentors, naysayers, and generally humans who will provide us with guidance, expertise, and recommendation, advice, and feedback to help us best possible versions of ourselves. The skill, expertise, and willingness to do this. The desire, drive, and confidence to keep doing this. The grit, perseverance, and support to never stop doing this. The modesty, fear, and gratitude to fully realize that what we did yesterday does not ensure we will be able to continue doing it tomorrow. Which leads to MyEtherWallet LLC was sufficient for the early stages of growth. MyCrypto is designed with the next scaling in mind from the beginning. The team I have assembled over the past 9 months and I will now be building and providing support, educating, and ensuring the security of MyCrypto.com and future products. We are confident it will continue greatly to the entire ecosystem in the long term. GNU remains in control of the MEW GitHub repository, the MEW domain, the AWS instance, and the MyEther social media accounts. I was terrified and terrified of the potential harm that changes will have on myself, the team, or the Ethereum community. But ultimately, the risk created by continuing down the road we were on, the greater the risk of splitting into a new brand, new company, new name, and new domain. While contemplating this decision, I began to see that my inaction would be the only thing that guaranteed my failure. What this means to you. You now have a choice between using MEW or MyCrypto. The team I assembled will be building and making improvements to MyCrypto and the infrastructure behind it. We will continue to do our best to help folks who have questions and needs help regardless of the product they were using, and even those products are not technically what the MyCrypto support box was designed for. Just as we have always attempted to answer questions and give guidance about specific tokens, other exchanges, other wallets, we continue doing so for MEW. The people have helped you over the years via email or Twitter or Facebook or Skype or Slack or Reddit or GitHub will remain the same. However, these people will now be reachable via support MyCrypto, support at MyCrypto.com, and the new social media platforms of Twitter, Medium, GitHub, help and support Reddit, Facebook, and LinkedIn by MyCrypto. The new React and TypeScript codebase has been audited, pending a few minor updates. Public beta testing will commence in the coming weeks. This codebase will eventually serve live to MyCrypto. We aim to launch desktop apps and then mobile apps in the coming months. Until we are confident in the stability and usability of the new codebase, a fork version of the current version of MEW will continue to be maintained and improved on MyCrypto.com. MyEther will continue to be online until, for whatever reason, it is not online. As we do for a number of products in this space, if we are at any point determined the domain to be compromised, serving malicious code, or otherwise detrimental to the community, we will do what we can to warn the community and prevent the use of the codebase and website. However, we wish the best for MyEtherWallet and hope it continues to be a viable product in this space. Most of all, we continue to do what's best for the Ethereum and blockchain community. Okay, that up there is a lot of shade about MyEtherWallet, which is different from his saying the best for MyCrypto, but there was a bit of shade there. As always, thank you for those who supported us and those who continue to support us. I said it a million times, but we literally wouldn't be here without you by our sides, helping us reach new heights and pushing us to be better. This is especially true today. If you have any questions, comments, or feedbacks, good or bad, please share them within the comments here. If you'd like to talk to me personally, I'll do my best to respond in a timely manner. She gives her email. Thank you, Taylor Mohan. Oh, let me follow my crypto too, because this is going to be fun. No, get back. So those are the statements that were released. And then MyCrypto kind of had to break down some more explanation. Well, yes, it was nice to go through the history and demonstrate, your contributions and maybe kind of hint why there was a bit of a split without saying there was a split for the company. There were some questions that, still kind of needed to be answered. So frequently asked question, who is part of MyCrypto team? Mind you, this is all on Medium, and there's links in the show notes. So the current team of MyCrypto is made up of 20 people within the product and development management, blockchain experts, and education support team. Taylor Mohan is the founder and the CEO of MyCrypto. In a recent split with Carlos and MyEtherWallet, the MyEtherWallet team volunteered decided to join the MyCrypto team in addition to a few new members. That includes Kevin Mohan, her husband, and original member of MyEtherWallet. So see the full list of MyCrypto team members. You can see this at the website. So why did the switch happen, and why did Taylor make the decision to launch MyCrypto? Taylor and Casso launched MyEtherWallet nearly 3 years ago. While this is a great partnership for majority of the time, ultimately the partnership ended by mutual agreement. We cannot disclose the terms of the mutual agreement, but both founders are aware of the split, discussion, transition. So this year, Taylor has established a specific goal set for goals of MyCrypto. Kind of reiterates what's going on. What happened to MyEther's Twitter handle? So this is the big hoopla. A team working at MyCrypto is the same team that managed MyEther's Wallet's Twitter handle for the past 3 years. The content that's been shared on MyEther since 2015 is the thinking of the team that now makes up MyCrypto. So basically, right here, it's they're responsible for the launch of that particular product. They're basically saying that's our product, the Twitter handle. And so we took it with us. The Twitter followership plays an important role as security beacon and relayer of important information during community emergency type events. With this in mind, the operators of the account made the decision to keep the Twitter followership under control of those who had the track record of executing its duties faithfully in line with the needs of the community. We wish marketing and security were not so intertwined, and MyCrypto in no ways intends to steal the fruits of MyEtherWallet's promotional efforts. We encourage any followers to follow both companies as this transition manifests. You can still follow MyEther's wallet handle at MyEtherWallet. We hope the community appreciates the difficulty and balances these two important interests. So I'm curious as the legal ramifications about taking the Twitter, because even within businesses, when they split up, the splitting up can be very difficult. Who owns what in the products? Right now, MyCrypto is stating that they own the Twitter. That might not pan out in the courts, but for now, that is the case. And they haven't exactly violated the terms of the Twitter's terms, if you will, because they changed the handle, they allowed for the verification to lapse, they resubmitted the verification, and now they're this particular Twitter handle. We work with Twitter to follow the procedures and policies, including becoming a verified user. We apologize for any confusion or inconvenience that caused this community. To clarify further, the verification checkmark did not migrate with the user's name. As soon as Twitter username was changed, verification was lost. We worked directly with Twitter to get MyCrypto verified shortly thereafter. Had we not fully complied with the Twitter verification process to establish that we are a legitimate bona fide account, we would not have received the verification checkmark. And considering that Twitter has recently changed these Twitter verification policies, I kind of side with them on that. What is MyCrypto doing to security of my figure? Ensuring the security of everyone's funds is the number one principle at MyCrypto. It's important to note that due to the way MyCrypto is developed, private keys are never stored as MyCrypto is only an interface to your crypto assets that are stored on the blockchain. Interesting to note that was highlighted by Corey Petty, one of the host of the podcast of the Bitcoin podcast. While we are not a custodian of your funds, we recognize our responsibility to develop and maintain critical software and infrastructure that we rely on. And they just kind of go on there. They're going to rebuild the product, develop an Electron-based desktop application. We have long since taken steps with ELL and Ethereum ScamDB to combat phishers in our desktop application as a next logical step. We can be confident they're not at risk of compromised JavaScript payload by running the MyCrypto desktop application outside the context of the regular browser. Develop a Type 3, type-safe alternative to the Web3 for contract interactions. Develop Drawbridge. This is technical stuff. Create Sentry, a health checker for our internal infrastructure that helps us verify releases, ensure the integrity of our backend infrastructure on the new code base. Will MyEther still exist? MyCrypto and staff are no longer associated with MyEtherWallet, therefore we can't comment on the current standing or the future endeavors of the brand. Should I start accessing my wallet with MyCrypto instead of MyEther? This will be your personal choice for everyone. We will not urge you to switch. We do encourage you to follow MyCrypto and keep up to date with your product offerings and development. Our hope is that our team will continue to add value to the space. The significance of our product since day one has been you control your keys and therefore your funds. There's no need to switch or send all your funds from one website to the other, as both are simply interfaces that interact directly with the blockchain. And then if you have more questions. So, the legal issues. So, there is a court case. And this is written by Bardir Nigerian. So, I'm going to follow him to see if there's any more updates. So, in my opinion, I said this on Twitter, she basically pulled a madman. She basically didn't like the current situation with the company, took all the goods and stuff and basically the best people and started anew. Some people were upset by this, understandably. Some people don't like it or how it was done. It's a mess. These things are always a mess with business. It happens all the time. Companies do split up, break up. There's all these infightings, who owns what, who owns this, that, and that nature. There's always a victor or a loser in this. I am hoping there's not a victor and loser in this. I just hope these companies split successfully. They go their own path. They go their own way. They basically, as people are calling it, forked, and you can choose which company you want to follow. Use both. Use neither. Move on. Whatever. This is a volunteer basis. And mind you, these wallets don't control your private keys. They're just an interface, and you can always use a completely different interface in interacting with your Ethereum wallet and your tokens. It just happens that MyEtherWallet and now the MyCrypto are very good interfaces. So here I am reading my daily news updates, and I see Tavon's post announcing she has left MEW, which apparently remains in Canoe's control, and set up what appears to be a competing fork Ethereum wallet called MyCrypto. Canoe has responded with a statement on Reddit. Neither of them is very forthcoming about the details of the split and why it happened. But what is worth noting is this. One, Canoe emphasized how hard she worked on MEW in 2017 to the point of exhaustion, but pointedly said nothing about any work put in by Canoe. She also includes graphs of their respective code contributions over the years, which appears to show that she's contributed significantly more code to MEW in the last couple of years, and this information is clear. Canoe confirms that the vast majority of MEW team has left with Canoe, but says he cannot go into the reasons for the split, and reassures everyone that MEW is functional and he's in control of the code and product in this business as usual. I thought I'd dig into a little bit more because every day as I work, I see that bad blood between co-founders often ends up in court, and lo and behold, we have Kosov Himarshev versus Taylor Manhu and MyEtherWallet LLC, case number BS 1717330 in the Los Angeles County Superior Court. I downloaded the primary petition in the case, put in my Dropbox for easy access here. This could be interesting. Disclaimer. I'm qualified to practice law in England and Wales and India. I'm not a Californian lawyer, and this is not legal advice, merely informed speculation by an experienced commercial litigator. I do not know Knuv or Timnov and personally have no connection with them or MEW. Also, this is being written on the day the news broke based on the court documents I've seen, the news from the various online sources. Further developments could render this analysis invalid or out of date as more information comes to light. The petition tells us a lot, but raises almost as many questions as it answers. In essence, the case involves Knuv saying that all the documents and financial records in MYETHERWALLET LLC company are in Knuv's possession, and that he's entitled to suspect him as a co-owner of the company, but she, according to him, is refusing to give him copies. His hearing scheduled in the case is March 27th, 2018, so that's next month, but since they have now split and the MEW company has been dissolved, see below, the case will probably go nowhere on this issue unless Knuv never got the documents and wants them badly for some reason. For example, he may need them to pursue more litigation. However, all kinds of other issues relating to this split could get added to the case. It looks like Knuv and Timnov have been getting along for some time. The document doesn't shed on the reasons for the breakdown in the relationship, but it isn't hard to guess based on Timnov's posts. She clearly feels he hasn't been pulling his weight. We haven't heard Knuv's side of the story except for the part about her refusing to hand over documents he was entitled to see, but the fact that Knuv managed to convince most of the employees to go with her and the evidence of the code contribution suggests in some way to her story. In any event to the documents, there appears to have been negotiations as of October 27th for Timnov to sell her share to MEW to Knuv for $1 million, which would leave him in the sole control. In the course of the negotiations, Knuv felt justifiably IMHO that it's difficult for him to commit to a purchase price without receiving all the account records and documents for the company because he can't conduct his due diligence on the company without them. Timnov's refusal, or more precisely what appears to be inadequate production documents, resulted in this case being filed. Okay, so there was a breakdown in sale. Some more poking through the company and corporation records in California shows that MyCrypto LLC was incorporated as far back as August 2017, which means Timnov has been planning this split for at least that long and probably a good deal longer. It also shows the MyEther LLC company has been dissolved unilaterally by Timnov alone as of December 29, 2017, which begs the question, what company is Knuv running now? Who actually owns and operates MEW? It could entirely be transferred to another company, but has it been? And the website security certificate says MyEther LLC. Oh, that is a problem. We don't know for sure, of course, but I suspect what happened is that the negotiations for buyout by Knuv and an amicable separation broke down. In connection with this, MyEther LLC has now been dissolved by Timnov. Why? It looks like she has been taking most of the employees and left to start a new company. Knuv is left with control of the MEW software code-based brand and maybe a few employees. There appears to be a fight for control of the MyEther Twitter account, though. But since MyEther LLC has been dissolved, the legal status of all these things is unclear. However, as far as the MEW's functionality goes, no one's crypto holdings should be affected. MEW and now MyCrypto is only a front end for accessing the Ethereum blockchain. The blockchain itself is not affected by this. It's like you using different apps to access your Gmail account. Your email stays in the same place, whatever app you use to access it. That's a very nice analogy. Also, the MEW code base is public and any suspicious change to the code will be easily spotted. So I'm not worried about that aspect. Only why it's such a useful tool now too will survive and continue to get better. I spy more litigation and stormy seas ahead, and Tiva's comment in her article that MyEtherWallet will continue to be online until for whatever reason it's not online. So I'm not the only one to notice that shade. Maybe reference to the current and political litigation. I only hope the valuable service that MEW and now MyCrypto provides continues for the benefit of the wider crypto community. Update. It's been pointed out that Reddit that is interactive community say that Timnov dissolved MyEther LLC unilaterally alone because when you look at the relevant documents, the company appears to have had 3 members/shareholders, and 2 of them Timnov, and the 3rd member dissolved the company. This is factually correct, so I'm updating this post to reflect that. I could have chosen my words better, and meant to say that Timnov appears to have dissolved the company without Knuev's cooperation. And as far as we know, that appears to be true. I do not mean to imply that there were only 2 shareholders in the company or that Timnov was the only signatory to the dissolution. I wonder who the 3rd member was. It was her husband or somebody else. Let's look at the comments. No comment. I don't want to make a comment. So a lot of drama here. But again, the whole point to remember being part of being your own thing is, you have to have control of everything. And regardless of what's going on with MyCrypto and MyEtherWallet, they don't control your private keys. And I hope, if anything, this prompts more development of strong user interfaces within the crypto. Oh my gosh, the Ethereum cryptocurrency space. Because at present, there isn't a strong Ethereum wallet base. It really isn't. There's like Jax, Miss, some of the hardware wallets, and MyEtherWallet. There really isn't a plethora of wallets like you see with Bitcoin. And that's a problem. You shouldn't be so heavily dependent on just one single interface. Now that there's two, there should really be 12 or 13 or 50. There should be a plethora of ways for people to engage and interact within the Ethereum community. And I think that should be really the takeaway of what has happened here. Plus, it's nice to see a real life Mad Men play out before your eyes. It's just personally amusing for me. So that's it. Those are all the statements. That's the drama that's been going on in the space. Stop. I really don't know there's much to say until any further developments come out, what these court cases pan out. But hopefully what this will do is it will prompt, like I said, prompt more people to create wallets and better interfaces for them to engage with Ethereum, and people will be less dependent and less freaked out when there's a split in the company or a particular interface goes down. Because even when you control your private and public keys, if you can't understand or decipher the information, it can be very difficult, very hard to do transactions or do anything with all those tokens if you can't properly engage with your information, if you will. So that's it. Those are my views. Those are the stories I'm sharing. It was fun. It was entertaining for over the weekend. I will add, when I end this broadcast, the link to the Bitcoin podcast show with Taylor on it, and you can hear her own words about what was going on. It also has the bonus of James Locke interview, so you get 2 great interviews there. And James Locke is always fun. He's always fun, especially on Twitter. So that's it. Thank you all for listening. Like, share, subscribe. Make your comments below what you think about the Ethereum drama here with the wallets. And to the moon.